What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? It's your boy Mozhawk here. And I, today, am going to talk about 10 things that I hate about my 2016 Kawasaki ZX10R. And I'm going to be honest with you, a lot of these were nitpicky. I absolutely love this bike, but I'm doing 10 things I hate. Honestly, it was a little bit of a challenge. That's part of the reason why I'm doing it, because it was a little bit of a challenge. I really can't say that I hate 10 things about this bike. Like, I nitpicked a lot of them. So let me go ahead and get started. Okay, so the first thing I want to get on that I hate is the mirrors. And that's actually going to break off into two reasons. First of all, I hate the positioning, and I think it's all sport bike mirrors because my Kawasaki Z1000, the mirrors didn't work. The stock mirrors, they sucked. Stock mirrors just suck. I'm just convinced that's the way it is. Second of all, the turning signals are actually in the lights. The lights of the turning signals are actually in the mirrors on this bike, which means that I can't just take those off. I haven't checked my local laws, but I'm pretty sure it's a problem if I just take the front turn signals off of my motorcycle. But the fact that I would even have to go through and check laws just because, they're mounted on the mirrors that I hate, that's making it on the reason number 2 that I hate. I feel like they should have just flush mounted them. Sorry, it's a little dark using this my phone. I know the ZX6R just has them in this region somewhere and they're flush mounted. I would have rather them been there so, I could just put bar in mirrors on without even worrying about it. But they are where they are, and that's why they're on the 10 things I hate list. Third of all, look, this bike is all top end. And I understand that this is a super bike, and I understand it's a little bit of a, personal gripe that not everybody shares with me, but I have a good friend and a riding buddy. He owns a KTM RC8. He gets all of his torque, all of his power as soon as he twists the throttle. I have to put in a requisition form with Kawasaki's HR department and then wait until the power is brought to me for me to get my torque. Okay, I'm exaggerating a little bit, but seriously, I have to get to, you can look at my tack right here, right? For me to get my torque, the torque starts on this bike around this region right here. I gotta wait all this time. And I understand you can just wick the throttle and you can just pull it and, go ahead and let it all have it. But I don't know. I'm coming from a super naked bike where I just conveniently have all of my torque. And that's probably why I'm feeling the way I'm feeling, just because I've had the experience of riding on the streets and just having all of my torque and power right there. I'm actually thinking about changing out the sprockets just to put more of the power on the low end, but that remains to be seen. It's still thrown up in the air, so I'm not going to say I'm going to do it right now, but it's up there. Next thing that is on my hate list is, if you actually look up here on my gauges again, let me turn it on one more time. Okay. I do not have a gas gauge. I do not understand why Kawasaki, and if anybody from Kawasaki wants to answer me, why in 2016, on a 2016 bike, why can't I have a gear indicator or and a gas gauge? Why do I have to pick? Like, it wouldn't have fit right here. You couldn't have put it all the way on the end. Couldn't have widened the screen out a little bit. You know what I mean? Like, why? Why couldn't I have that? I feel like with all the technology you put in this bike, you couldn't give me a damn gas gauge. You got to wait till I got a fuel light, and then I got to guesstimate how much, how much gas I have. I don't understand it. It nags me so much because I know you guys can do it, and I know it would take you no time to do it, to give me a fuel gauge and a gear indicator, that is. But something else anyway. All right. Now, this next, hate that I have for my bike, this might just be under general hashtag super sport problems, to be honest with you. And the reason that I say that is because when I get into, just the regular riding position on this bike, and I don't want to stay hunched over for a long time, I will, like everybody else, I'll just, put one hand on, just upright my posture, just I think like everybody else does who rides a super sport bike. But the thing is, I think it's just because of the way the seat is angled or whatever, just because of the aggressiveness of the seat, my nuts meet this tank area a lot. I mean, I feel like it hits me in the nuts. It might just be because I'm tall and, the way my legs are, I don't know. But I get hit in the nuts a lot with my tank when I just go to, just one hand and take a little cruising position. I don't know. Maybe some other people are experiencing that. Maybe I'm doing it wrong. I thought I was doing it right. Hell, if I'm riding this thing wrong, let me know. But, I know it's happened to a couple of my friends too. So I don't think it's just my nuts getting smashed in. Okay, so, all right, this is going to be kind of weird. My right foot, the position of my right foot, for me to work the brake and everything, it's really slammed up really tight. Up against the right side of the bike, and might just be because I have big feet or whatever, but all of this, like my right foot, it just hits all, and I mean mostly this is my fault for having huge ass feet, but it just hits my my engine here, and it hits on the fairing. And I mean that's just because I have big ass feet. Like, I mean, this is just a personal hate because I have big ass feet. But it's just my foot is all up in those bits, and it's a pain in the dick. I mean, 10 things I hate might not be 10 things you hate, but, it is what it is. My next hate, and this is me getting a little nitpicky here. And you know what? Like I said, I had to nitpick because I love this bike, but I had to get a little nitpicky. I think that Kawasaki could have added me a few more of those Kawasaki green accents. I like what they did with the suspension down here. Should have done this when I had more light outside, but it's nighttime. See, they put the green for my suspension, put the green accents on the Brembos, I put the green accents on the top of my suspension. I got a little bit of green accent on the rims down here, but I feel like they just made it so absolute in between I think it's the KTR version they called it, and this matte black ABS version. I could have used some more Kawasaki green here. I could have used some more Kawasaki green here. You could have given me a little bit more green on my tank pad. You could have given me some Kawasaki green, in my pillion seat here. I mean, I feel like, they could have just did a little bit more. Like, I mean, I understand like the matte black, and I like the matte black, but I just feel like they could have just given me a little bit more to set the bike off. Just the accent here or there, and I might add some things to it. Somebody will probably put some custom stitching in the seat. I could probably get some Kawasaki Ninja decals, change out the tank pad, whatever. But all possible. Just like I said, 10 things I personally hate. And the last thing that I can honestly say that I hate about this motorcycle is right there. This is the stock whale tail to my motorcycle. And yeah, it is sitting here in my garage space just in case, I decide I want to use it for something, for spare parts. I actually did make a fender eliminator for my motorcycle using a part off that. So yeah. Oh, I still owe you guys the free fender eliminator video, which will probably come out after this video now that I just thought about it. But okay guys, if you are not riding, start riding, and if you are riding, keep riding. Peace.